Backlash against women's sports is described in Chapter 4 of Michael Mesner's book, Taking the Field, Women, Men, and Sport. This chapter, entitled Center of Attention, The Gender of Sports Media, covers what backlash against women's sports really is and what it means. Page 106 of Mesner's novel defines the anti-feminist backlash tendency as one which appears to have found fertile ground among men who feel threatened, displaced, disoriented, or disenfranchised by assertive women. This sociological concept is extremely prevalent regarding sports in today's world. For instance, in the case of Katie Ledecky and her extraordinary swimming ability, there was great amounts of backlash against her and her talents coming from both commentators as well as competitors, mostly men. An NBC commentator, Roddy Gaines, said that a lot of people think she swims like a man. Another comment by Ryan Lochte, another Olympic swimmer, stood out greatly in coordination with the sociological term. Lochte stated, "She swims like a guy. Her stroke, her mentality, she's so strong in the water. I've never seen a female swimmer like that. She gets faster every time she gets in, and her times are becoming good for a guy. She's beating me now, and I'm like, what is going on?" This is a clear example of backlash against women's sports. Lochte mentions, "She's beating me now, and I'm like, what's going on?" This is a perfect example of how this backlash tendency is used among men when they feel threatened or disenfranchised by assertive women. On page 108 of Mesner's novel, he goes on to explain the contested boundaries of men's sports. Mesner states that sports are something that men do. Women do not do sports. And when it turns out that some women do sports, well, they are not real women. Either women athletes are too soft and feminine to be worth considering as serious athletes, or they are butch lesbians who are worth only of derision. There is an obvious flaw in the way society and people view women's sports today.
Tennis gold medalist Andy Murray shut down a BBC reporter who seemed to forget that women's tennis is a thing.
You're the first person ever to win 2 Olympic tennis gold medals. That's an extraordinary feat, isn't it?
Well, to defend the singles title, I think Venus and Serena won about 4 each.
The BBC's John Inverdale was interviewing Murray after his victory over Juan Martín del Potro of Argentina. It was his second consecutive Olympic gold. He's the first person to take gold in singles tennis twice in a row, but as he noted, both Williams sisters have won 2 more golds than him overall.
In this clip, sports analyst John Inverdale asked professional tennis player Andy Murray what it's like to be the first person to win 2 Olympic gold medals for tennis. Murray corrects Inverdale, informing him that Venus and Serena Williams, both female professional tennis players, have won multiple Olympic golds in tennis. This clip perfectly demonstrates Mesner's concept of selective incorporation of standout women athletes. Selective incorporation refers to the usage of a female athlete as a figurehead in the media, at least temporarily. The fact that Inverdale did not include the Williams sisters as winners of Olympic tennis gold medals reflects the idea that they are no longer relevant, and that the only thing that is relevant is Andy Murray and his own gold medals, even though he's won less than the Williams sisters. Female athletes should be included and relevant all the time, not only when sports analysts or the media feel like it.
Judo is a demanding sport that uses both mental and physical expertise. Judo fighter Majalinda Kelmendi made history when she won the first gold medal for her country, Kosovo. Instead of praising Kelmendi for her accomplishment and making world history, the BBC commentator referred to her skilled match as being a catfight. Catfights became a part of American pop culture when they were the main subject of pornography when it originated in the 1950s. Describing the judo match as a catfight is a prime example of Mesner's humorous sexualization. Female athletes are agents whose images are rewriting the cultural symbology of women in sports. Therefore, Kelmendi's participation in her sport, let alone her win, serves as a feminist push for the progress of women in sport. But calling her sport a catfight reverses all the progress made by women in sport. In fact, it sexualizes them in a trivial way and contributes to women as sexual objects.
And there's the guy responsible for turning Katinka Hosu, his wife, into a whole different swimmer.
When Mesner and his colleagues studied the coverage of women's sports on television, they discovered that less than 10% of the coverage was for women's sports. Silence in the media belittles women's achievements in sports by not giving them credit where credit is due. In the 2016 Olympics, Katinka Hosu, a Hungarian swimmer, won a gold medal. Following her win, NBC commentator Dan Hicks said, "There's the guy responsible for turning Katinka Houseu, his wife, into a totally different swimmer," when the camera panned to her husband. However, by giving her husband the credit for her achievements, it pushed her physical achievement of being in the pool winning a medal to the side.